We're going to go ahead and get started because people will be jumping in and jumping out. So, welcome to S.H.E.R.O Spotlight. If you are a newbie, welcome. We're so happy to have you. Hopefully, you will return to the next one. If you're an oldie but goodie, welcome back. It's been a little minute since I've had my last one, but we're glad to be on here today with my friend Kiara, Kiki, as we call her. Yes. So, a little bit about S.H.E.R.O for those who are new. I created this during the pandemic. I really feel like people really needed help during that time dealing with mental health issues and anxiety, depression, but also with my own story. A few years ago, or many years ago now, it's been about 11 years ago, I was dealing with depression myself and going through a divorce. And I really thought about ending my life because I just thought it was the end. And I just really couldn't handle it. But I end up using these things when it comes to S.H.E.R.O. S.H.E.R.O, all of you know it's a S.H.E.R.O is a female hero, but I created an acronym, and these are the things that helped me through that period of time, that dark time that I was going through. So S stands for sacrificing for my child. H is healing from my past hurts. E is evolving into what God wants to be. R is revealing my truth, and O is obtaining my goals. And this is where I'm at now. Because of those things, I just went on through and I made it through. And so this is the purpose of S.H.E.R.O Spotlight, because we all have adversities. We all have a story. And it's important for us to hear the other side, because sometimes we're in that dark tunnel. We think it is the end, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And so that's why I have S.H.E.R.O Spotlight for women, moms more so, to share their stories of adversities and how they have overcome it. Because sometimes you may be dealing with something, someone else similar is in that same state, and you can hear their story to be able to give you inspiration and empowerment. So again, tonight I have here with me Kiara. We worked together. We were in a program together, and when I met her in person, because it was virtually, and then when I met her in person, she just exudes light. And I just love that about her. When she steps in a room, it's going to light up. I love her confidence, just her joy and her positive mindset. So I wanted to get to know a little bit more about Kiara. And so when I heard her story, I'm like, okay, you got to share. So Kiara, tell people a little bit about yourself.
Yes, thank you, my dear friend.
Uh-huh.
So, to start off with, I'm from Danville, Virginia, born and raised. So, I got that country twang to myself. I'm 34 and I have one son. He's 13 and 6 feet already. So, if anybody want to start a gun GoFundMe for me, I'm down for it.
Right?
I would say, like, I'm crazy and I like having fun, but I'm a hard worker. That's basically the essence of me. And I love like positivity, being with my friends. Again, shout out Jamila. And just living life like it's
Yeah.
golden. Living my life like it's
Like
golden.
it's golden. Yes. It's so funny. It's a small world because Kiera's from Danville. I'm from Martinsville. We're like neighbors. And I didn't
Yes.
know that when we first met. And so we found that out when we got to talk more. So tell me, when I break it down with my acronym, so first is sacrificing for my child or children. Share the sacrifices you have made as a single mom, and how has motherhood shaped you?
I would say the biggest sacrifice I have made is time.
Mm,
From having to work so hard, and usually I have two jobs, I really missed a lot.
mm,
But in sometimes in order for your child to succeed, you gotta determine what's important in that time.
mhm,
And at that time, I was at one point I was paying for private school. Then by him growing all the time, you always gotta have money for that. Then extra school activities. So it was really, I used to be sad about it a lot on the time aspect until I sat down and I talked to my son. And it made me realize how does a young boy understand life already? And he was like, Mom, I'm not mad at you. In order for us to have what we need, you have to work. So you work, and I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do my best at school. That way, we both do what we're supposed to do.
all right. I like it. I like
So having a teammate in my son, really, motherhood is great to me. It's my favorite thing in the world to watch him grow. And it made me a better person. It made me want more. It made me get my stuff together because I was so childish. I was all about me at one point. I just was angry at the world. But he really changed my perspective on everything.
Yes, love it.
And it's 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 different now. Like I used to be like, whatever, I don't care. Now I'm like, no, let me get an understanding.
Mhm.
And just seeing how he has the best parts of me and not the bad parts. It's like I really feel blessed and lucky to have such a good kid. Now he funny. He funny.
Yeah.
He got my wits. And
It's
sometimes I
on
gotta
his
be like,
mama.
boy, yes. Yes, he's definitely a mother's boy. Look like his dad, but he's a mother's boy.
Yeah, yeah, I love that though. Yeah, you're right. As moms, we do sacrifice a lot of time, but again, doing what we do for our children to see them succeed is key, and having open and honest conversations, because I have
Yeah.
those conversations as well with my daughter. Life is not easy. Also, you got to work, saying, I always tell her, I don't want you to grow up to be an entitled, young lady. I want you to know there's work you have to do to get to where you are. Like I work all the time and she sees that grind, saying I invite her when I go on speaking engagements and do different things. I want her to see. I want her to be able to live that and say, well, mom, this is what I learned from my mom. And I see that now as she's growing up. She's taking a lot of those things and she is a hustler. If anybody knows Taya, she got right now, she got 4 different businesses. She be a hustler. And I love that about her. I know she be about her money too. She said her price is her
Yes.
price.
My son
um,
13 already talking about, Mom, when can I get a job? He just cut the
right,
grass today to get a little piece of change, as they say. He's I see, even what a lot of us parents don't realize is what we do, especially when you have a son and you're a mother, how you go about life is what they gonna look for, what they gonna want. So
right,
if you own your stuff, you doing what you're supposed to do, you're handling business, and your kids see that, 9 times out of 10, your son gonna bring home somebody with some type of values. Cause
right.
he told me already, Mom, I don't want I don't want no gold digger. I was like, what you know about a gold digger?
Talk about it.
He said they gotta know what they want to do with their life. They gotta know this
Right.
and
That's
that. I was
smart.
like, okay.
That's
He said,
good.
I want
Gotta let
somebody
you
to
know
work
you're doing
hard
your
like
job.
you.
That's good. And so when we talk about, yeah, because when they do that, you're doing what's right. You're putting the right seeds in
Yes.
them. And so when we talk about healing from your past hurts, and I know you touched on it a little bit, share some of the adversities you dealt with as a child.
I would say my childhood was very strange. I was compared to people that I know. Like, for example, when I stayed with my grandparents a lot. When my grandfather would get sick, my babysitters was a prostitute and a drug dealer because
Yeah.
they were the next door neighbor.
Uh-huh.
But they told me math. Like, you gotta look at things like seeing drug deals and then being in situations as a child where you shouldn't have been there. You have to grow up fast. From with my grandfather, he had a catheter. I remember one night I had to stay up all night holding the catheter because it was full and I didn't know how to unplug it or do anything, waiting for someone to come. Like different things like that, having that caring aspect and have to learn things that, as a child, you should be outside playing and having fun. And it gave attachment to him where I didn't want to really be with kids like that and for a long time. And dealing with different things with my mom and different family members where now that I'm a mother, I'm like, I wouldn't have had my child in them predicaments, but you just never know, like, what's going on through people's mind, how people grown up. So it was the norm to
Mhm.
have your child around certain things. I ain't trying to criminally, get anybody
No,
in
no.
trouble. So I was talking over it. Then
Talking code.
right. Then when until I was like 13, 14, my dad was locked up. in jail,
Mhm.
and he made all these promises. When I get out, it's gonna be this and that. And he called me and he was like, "You were jail talk."
Mhm.
Mind
Mhm.
you, it's right after my whole world, who was my grandfather, died. Like, I stayed under my grandfather. He told me what to do, when to do, all the time. So I was trying to adjust to just it being me and what do I do next. And I get this call and I'm just like, what?
Mhm.
And not really addressing it. It was basically swept under. It was just, okay, we say
Mhm.
something, we go on. So rage start building up,
Mhm.
anger and unwanted feelings. Then the whole entire time I'm trying to figure out my own stuff. My mom got depression because she lost her dad and he
Mhm.
was the pillar. So she distanced herself.
Mhm.
And it was more like I did what I want.
So you were raising yourself pretty much.
Yes, I
Mhm.
was really, and I had my wish. Shout out to my friend Chastity and her mother. Her mother stayed on me. Like I started getting locked up. I started getting in trouble, getting suspended a lot. I was a straight A student.
Mhm.
I just started falling off. Then I was going to church, and I didn't know I was being prayed on. So I did ended up
Let's
having,
time out though. What type of parade? P-R-E-Y, not P-R-A-Y.
yeah, prayed like this a tiger
Right,
and a gazelle.
right.
And I remember going to I went to Dollar General and he was there. I didn't even know he was there. I was trying to get some deodorant. He came up behind me and like grabbed me around my neck and was dragging me out the store. And you wouldn't think a church member would just he was doing the drums. Like you just think he's a regular music, happy go lucky person. And I remember trying to yell for help, and he was telling everybody, "Oh, she just having a tantrum because she can't get what she wants. She wants something." And they just look. Nobody said anything. They just
Mhm.
look. And then I felt myself like losing conscience. And when he opened the door, his hand loosened a little. So I went push really, really, really hard, got away, ran. I had to end up going to court for it, and the judge tried to give me contempt of court.
Wow.
And I'm like, I'm the victim. Why?
Right.
My mom almost got contempt of court for raising her hand. I'm like, what? How do this work?
Mhm.
He and my family was blaming me. So I went and I told the pastor because you're supposed to go
Yeah.
confront
Right.
pastors. And the
Right.
pastor was like, well, you shouldn't wear what you wear.
Mhm.
I was 14 years old. I didn't have a job. I didn't buy my clothes. I thought I was wearing regular church stuff.
Right.
So I I got more depressed because I'm like, I lost my voice because he literally crushed my larynx a little. So I
Mhm.
lost my voice for a month. I had PTSD, like I couldn't be left alone. My cousins or someone had to be with me at all times. My cousin didn't believe how bad it was, and he left me in the mall by myself, and I ended up on the floor hyperventilating. And his then girlfriend had to literally put me. She worked there. She had to put me behind the desk and
Mhm.
calm me down and call my cousin because like I just couldn't do anything. I didn't want to move
Mhm.
and I didn't go to school for a little bit. Like I couldn't be around crowds, anything. So then I started to get my confidence back a little. And next thing you know, my cousin's friend tried to rape me.
Mhm.
And it was a setup. His girlfriend set me up, and I was in the room with him. I'm used to going over there all the time. I was 15. Used to going over there because I always would be with my cousin. So I
Mhm.
went over there in the same room I was going to. Then her older cousin, he was like 40,
Mhm.
came in there. He shut the door. I looked at him on the bed. I'm looking like, what is you doing? Next thing you know, he trying to push me down, and like I'm fighting him off, fighting him off. If my mother did not come because she went to get her nails done, if she didn't come when she came, I probably would have been in that room for about 30 minutes running around in a circle. Because that's
Wow.
all I was doing was running across the bed,
I try
trying to
you
get
was
away. And I was
so when
getting
dealing with right. So when dealing with all of that, all those different things that's happening in your life, all those adversities, and you said it did manifest into anger, and
yeah.
you felt like giving up on life to the point that you wanted to commit suicide as well. So what was going on in your mind at that point, and what did you feel at those moments to get to that point of wanting to end your life?
I would say, because I also went to the cops on that situation and they laughed.
Mhm,
So I would say I felt like nobody. I felt
mhm,
like I didn't matter because they say you're supposed to reach out for help.
mhm,
And the only person I thought that could help me was my grandfather, and he was dead. So it was like I was always alone. So try about, I tried twice to kill myself. It didn't work. I tried to get somebody to kill me. That didn't work. And then I was just like, I guess I'm gonna be here. If I'm gonna be here, I'm just gonna do whatever.
right.
And that's what I started. I got very, as they say, promiscuous
Mhm,
because I felt like that was the only time I could have power
mhm,
and like I could take control. Then I was getting in trouble all the time. I was fighting more,
mhm.
whether it was in school, out of school. I was doing other stuff. Again, can't criminalize myself on here, but
Yes, speaking color again. So what was the turning point that made you let go of this anger and this aggressiveness?
it was really like gradual.
Mhm,
It was really like I had to go through more stuff to understand, like not be able to walk a year and a half because I had two slip discs and nobody can explain why, or getting car wrecks and you just sit there and you have to sit there with yourself and be like, what am I doing wrong? Why is this happening to me? And to watch my best friend, the way she cried for me, it was really like I gotta do better. Then once I had my son, that was really like I can't keep doing this. Cause when he before he was one, I almost got 17 years. So to know that I had another chance and I could be with my kid,
right.
I chose my kid over everything. Like I forgave a lot of people, a lot of situations, and I went back and I think I gave myself, and I had time to go mentally to my younger self and hug myself and apologize for not being able to protect us as I should have or doing better. And taking accountability that a lot of that stuff could have been avoided if I did better or if I did things different.
Mhm,
And once I start seeing everything in another perspective, that's when I started shifting. That's when everything started turning like, okay, I see what it's like. Good people. Okay, I could be a good person.
mhm. I could
It's
do this.
okay.
Yeah. So, like you said, some great things like forgiveness. Forgiveness is key, and people say it all the time, which is so true. It's not about the person, the other people. It's about for yourself. Because
Yeah,
when you carry that, you're just keeping yourself victimized or stagnant with that situation. But when you have that forgiveness, you're able to move forward. It's really not about the other person. And
yeah,
then accountability. A lot of people don't take accountability for what they do. And you made a really good point because again, you could have been product of your environment and say and blame it or being, victimized and saying it's because how I was raised or because of this. Or did you make some of these things on your own? Some of it was your choice that you end up making that you could have made some better decisions because I see it all the time where people can grow up in the same household children more so grow up in the same household. One can do amazing things, decide I don't want to be a product of my environment, and then the other may decide to do that. So it's choices. And so you took accountability to say, I put some things on myself, saying that I didn't have to. So that's really just being mature. That's growing
Yeah.
up. And when we talk
Yeah.
about evolving into what God wants you to be, what made your grandfather, because you were so close to him, what made his words or his teaching stand out and impact you the way it did?
I would say because he he was he was my everything. Like I was always with him and he always poured into me. Like my cup always ran over. He gave me every tool to make it in life. And he knew it was going to take time for me to understand, and he knew he didn't have a lot of time. So he wanted to make sure I had everything I needed. And as I got older and simmer down, as they say, everything started clicking on how I should be living. And just remembering how he was, even good, bad, or anything, just his resilience
Mhm,
and just how he was so helpful with people and cared and just wanted to pay it forward. Everything he done for me, I just wanted to pay it forward to the universe.
mhm. Yeah. It only takes one person
Yeah.
to show that love and support. It only takes one. That's why I always tell people we have to be conscious of what we say and how we treat people because we don't know what people are
Mhm.
going through. And your one word to say, sis, you look good today, or what I'm saying, or giving somebody a hug, that could mean the world for them because you don't know what they're going through at that moment. And just you being kind can change the whole situation, or you just speaking life into them can
Yeah.
change their situation. So with your grandfather's love and everything and his motivation, his teaching, you decided to start your own business honoring his name. So please tell everyone more about your business and the name of your business. Share that with us.
So my business name is KEL'sFLO, which is my initials and my grandfather's initials, which I think is cool. His
Yeah.
initials are Flo, FLO. And I do websites, I do banners, flyers, business cards, you name it. And I probably do it. I can even do business plans. And it's I thought about it. I was just gonna name it his name and not even have it my name,
Mhm.
but I wanted to be more personal because that's my grandfather. So
Hey, yeah.
I wanted to make sure, and the motto is "Flow Your Way," and I think it's cool on the little font that I found. Look just like his handwriting.
Mhm.
So I wanted to do something to dedicate to him because he's always on my mind 24/7. Always I have him tatted in two different
I
places.
get it. Uh-huh.
And it's just something I know I can't mess up, and I know I'm gonna always have to rise to the occasion because it has his name on it.
Mhm. Right. Yeah, I love that. And I put the name of the business in the chat. But how can the people get in contact with you? One thing I like about Kiera, which I told her that's really strong. I need to be like her. She's not on social media.
No, I haven't
So how
did
can
since
they get in contact with you?
2017. You can email me at kelsflowllc at gmail.com. I'm going to do a personalized one when we gonna claim it. I get my promotion and have a lot more time.
That's right.
And I would be more than happy. Any way you want to do anything, we can do it. I have examples. We can
Mhm.
be on there the whole time doing it together. I just want everyone to be able to personalize whatever they're trying to do. I think in art, in any type of art, whether it's a flyer, whatever, should speak to you. And
Yeah.
that's my motto. And I have great prices too.
That's
So
affordable. That's what we need. Y'all,
yes.
y'all support this sister right here. So I put the email address in the chat. And of course, if you need additional information, you can always, direct message me. I'll make sure you get in contact with here. But we want to support a Black woman-owned business. That's what we're trying to do. I see the love in the chat here. Right? So when it comes to revealing your truth, Who is Kiara now, and what would you say to your younger self?
Well, Kiara now is still in the process of finding herself,
Okay.
but I'm actually on the journey and path. Like I for the longest time I didn't understand why I went through so much, why I was still here. And it's like I'm starting to find my purpose.
Hmm.
And just now still crazy. Still crazy. I'm gonna always be
No one's
crazy.
normal, Kiara.
Right. And I'm just a hard worker, a mom, and I'm just trying to be on the positive tip. And on my younger self, I would I would definitely say just hold on. Just hold on. It will get better.
Right. Yeah.
And
I
just tell myself I love you.
mhm.
If nobody else love you, I love you.
Love you. Yes, I love that. And something you told me too when we were talking, you were talking about when you were younger, when you wanted to grow up, you wanted to be the vigilante. And
Yes.
you love Harley Quinn. So and you said something that's really so great that I really love. So share that with the people and you said the thing about the hero. So share that if you remember what you said.
Yes. So I when they used to ask us in class, what did you want to be? I always said a vigilante, but nobody told me that it was you don't get paid for it. But I did always want to be a vigilante, and people would ask, why did you want to be a hero? And it's because sometimes heroes don't do what's necessary because you're a hero. When you're a vigilante, whether good or bad, you're gonna get things done. And to this day, I think I'm still a vigilante.
I like
I'm gonna
it.
be a vigilante the rest of my life.
Right. I love it. I love it. And speaking of what you were saying earlier about your confidence and just loving yourself, you shared with me that you gained weight when you had your car accident and you learned how to be comfortable in your skin, especially in this society. It's a harsh society where we talk about, beauty is, BBLs. People are dying trying to get BBLs, or being in shape or thin is what defines beauty. So how do you deal with that? And how did you get comfortable in your own skin?
It took a little while because it was like a shock. I was always athletic. Even after my son, I gained some weight, but I could still move a lot. But having to sit for a year and a half, and I thankfully went through about 11 different types of steroids and learning how to walk all over again. Everyone was like, oh, stop eating. I'm like, do you not know this was steroids? Like, this was food. And having been able to reflect and just joke on yourself and just keep everything in a positive light and realizing like beauty isn't about what size you are, it's about you. Are you positive? Are you negative? If you negative, you ugly on the inside, so you ugly.
Hmm.
If you are shining bright like a diamond, living in your truth, enjoying your life, then it doesn't matter what size. It shouldn't matter. And I think a lot of social media put stereotypes and more pressure on people to be a certain size. When in reality, it doesn't matter. It's all about you, your character. And once I realized I'm gonna be me. It don't matter. I'm gonna be me. I don't care. I might get out of breath going up these steps, but it's okay. I'm gonna be me.
You
I
gonna make it
just
to the top, right?
yeah, I'm gonna make it to the top eventually. 3 breaks. And it's just like I just love being me. It ain't unapologetically. And that made me just be like, okay, well, this is where I'm at now.
Mhm.
Who knows where I'm gonna be at later? But right now I'm here. I got these S.H.E.R.O jelly rolls.
Yeah, people are loving it in the chat. Jamila said, shine bright like a diamond. Karen said, so true. I'm seeing hearts. Yes, I'm seeing a lot of love. I see a lot of great people in here in the chat. And so now going to obtaining your goals and happiness. Especially this month is Mental Health Awareness Month. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, in case you all didn't know. And so, what word of advice or wisdom would you give someone who don't feel they matter and want to give up on life?
I would say taking from my grandfather. Every Sunday, no matter how bad a week he had, he will always say, "I still got my joy."
Mm,
And it starts, and I never understood those words
mhm,
because I watched him suffer night after night, screaming, yelling. I watched so much. And now I realize it's breath, it's sight, it's the simple things. And a lot of times people think they don't matter because you're looking for a grand gesture.
mm,
When your next door neighbor that you wave to and smile at every day, you probably making their day because if you don't do it, they gonna feel some type of way.
mhm.
Or if you are an introvert and you always tip your DoorDash driver, they probably gonna miss that little tip. You
Right.
never, you just never know who you might impact. Your life is not your life. Your life is for someone else. I had to realize that too. So when you're not feeling good, just love on yourself. Even if you think nobody else, it starts with you. If you don't love yourself, RuPaul, how is somebody else gonna do it?
Right. Yeah, that's so true. And you're right about joy, and I speak about this when I do speaking engagements and just explain to people happiness fluctuates. It just depends on like the situation's going well, you're happy. If it's not going well, you're sad. But joy is within. It's regardless if you're going through the good or bad times, because it's within, and joy
Mhm.
is from God as well. So that's why you do have to strive for joy. I can't tell you how many times I've asked clients when they be like, "Oh, I'm not happy. I'm not happy." I'm like, so what will make you happy or what is happiness? And they don't have an answer. So they're chasing something that they don't even know what it is like. So that's why we want
Yeah.
to have joy. Joy is on the inside. Joy is no one can take that away from you. So it's
Yeah.
just having that joy is just key. So that was really helpful and really inspiring, and just knowing again, there don't give up. There, you're here for a reason. Like you said, you tried to kill yourself. You know, even had someone try to kill you, and none of it worked. You're here for a reason. God still has you here, and so we're
Yeah.
happy that you are here. We're happy that you got to the other side, and you over here surviving and thriving.
Yeah,
And so
because I mean, if I didn't, like, I would have never tasted a mango smoothie bowl. Like, it's so much I would have missed. I would have missed so much.
exactly. Now, what is the next chapter for you?
Next chapter, I would say, because right now I do work in insurance, so I see myself leveling up,
Well,
trying to be project management or business analyst, and like really starting to promote my business more, get my website done. And my biggest thing that's for me is just making sure my son just get everything he needs and wants and push him to be the best person he can be. Whatever he want to do, that's what we doing.
right.
However he want to roll, and that's I just want to be. Even though I'm not a bad mom, I just want to keep continuing to be a better mom. That's the only thing that I'm really focused on
Mhm.
is being there with my tank tank.
Right. And then lastly, what has life taught you the most thus far? I mean, you still got life to live, but what has it taught you thus far?
You know, I got a couple gray hairs up here, so I got a little wisdom. But life has taught me the most. You don't know what's gonna happen, what's next, what's going on. You can never figure out life. So just live it, just keep going through it. And if you have bad days, put the umbrella up. Sunshine will be here one day.
Mhm.
And instead of dwelling in it, learn from it. Anything bad happen, learn, stay positive, stay focused. And you only got one life to live. If it's messy, oh well. If you fail sometimes, try again. Like until you take your last breath, it's always time to do something. Do it.
Right. Yes, love that. Yes, but sometimes we try to plan things and things don't always go as planned. And then we
Yeah.
get our course and feel like that's, our life is no longer what we want it to be. But like you said, just live life. Get out, go for a walk, go on that trip you've been wanting to go on. Just do you. And don't
Yeah.
worry about the rest. You know what I'm saying? As long as your bills is paid, and I don't want to say them y'all here just living. Make sure your bills paid.
I would say be responsible, then have fun. I think a lot of people are so conscious with how others might perceive them. I got to the point I don't care. I don't, if they could talk about me, it's gonna roll off. They talked about Jesus. Look what they did to Jesus.
That's
So
right.
if you gonna talk about me, talk about me. If you don't like me, it's okay. We ain't gotta be around each other. Like I
Very
have
true.
no one to impress or anything. I'm just living my life.
Right, like it's golden, like you
Yep,
said.
living my life like it's
And
golden.
I think it too, it matters because you're not on social media. You ain't got to worry about trying to compare your life or see what other people are doing and feeling like you behind or whatever. And like I said, the comparison is the thief of joy. I said this one time before. So we have to be mindful of that and continue to do what we want to do and stay in our lane. Don't try to compete with somebody, compare your life. We all have a path. We all have a life that God has already destined for us. Stay in your lane. But
You
in the
right?
meantime, while you're in your lane, enjoy it. The ups and
Yes.
downs, enjoy it. So I just love your zest for life, Kiara, and you are a shero.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
So you are sacrificing for your son. You have healed from your past hurts. You are evolving into
Mhm.
what God wants to be. Today you sat here and revealed your truth. And oh, you're out here and obtaining your goals and happiness. And we want to see more from you. And I know that God has so much more in store for you. I'm just glad that you joined us tonight and all the people who joined us. Beautiful comments in the chat. And mine saying, thanks for sharing your stories. The star got it. I see you, mine. Um, Jamila says, come on, y'all. I got joy preaching. Karen said, you have to encourage yourself. So many hearts and love is like, who else I see? I see a lot of people in here. I'm looking through all these comments. Natasha says, you are the best. Lizelle says, yes, we need
Oh,
support. So just a lot of great things. And you just keep going because you got people behind you pushing for you. We got people that are, enjoy your spirit, enjoy your zest for life and your confidence. Because, like I said, we need more people that have light to spread
yes.
our love and spread that light to everybody. We need more positivity. And so I would encourage you all that's on here tonight and those who do watch later on, just continue to shed light and share your joy with others because we need this in this time and this world where darkness is here on a regular basis. We need more light. So I thank you all for tuning in tonight, and hopefully I will see you for the next She-Wrote Spotlight. Thank you all so much. Have a great night. Thanks again, Kiara. All right, bye-bye.
Welcome.